Hi, today we are going to learn about formulation aspects influencing the design of oral controlled release drug delivery. So this is a part of series of lecture which I have started regarding novel drug delivery system. So in this previously we saw about what are the factors influencing design of control and extended release dosage forms. Today we are trying to learn about what are the formulation aspects which will influence your design or formulation of your controlled release drug delivery system, especially which is concerned to oral. I am talking about particularly about oral controlled release drug delivery system. So first property here is drug. So drug is the major part. What is the property of the drug which is going to influence in the design of controlled drug delivery system? See here, the main property here is solubility. If the drug is not soluble, then it is not going to come out from the matrices. Let's say I have designed the drug tablet. Okay, so these are the drug particles which are present in the tablet, and these are the polymers which are there like this. So what happens when this tablet interacts with the GI content? This will hydrate the polymer system and the drug will solubilize in this polymer system and it will come out. When the drug itself, solubility itself is a problem, then the drug traveling from the tablet to the GI system will be difficult. So the solubility of drug plays major important role in the formulation of oral controlled release dosage. I am talking about oral. Okay, so low soluble drugs diffuse slowly through the matrices. Okay, we know that. For that, what we have to do, we need to go for the erosion mechanism instead of going for the swelling and release mechanism. See, we have two types of mechanism here. If I incorporate polymer and drug, what happens? This polymer will swell when it comes in contact with the GI content. So there will be swelling. So there is a chance of swelling. So this is called swelling and releasing. After swelling, what happens? The water molecule will enter into the polymer to get swell, as well as into the matrices where drug is present. They will dissolve the drug and the drug will come out from the matrix slowly, from the swollen matrix slowly. Another mechanism of drug release is erosion. What you can do here is, there will be a polymer and there will be a drug here. So there is a chance of erosion. So there will be polymer will be getting eroded here and there. From this erosion, drug will come out. So there is a erosion mechanism. Okay, there will be erosion mechanism. From this, the drug will come out. So there are two mechanisms. One is swollen and erosion. If your drug is soluble, then better to go for swelling mechanism of release of drug. If your drug is not soluble, then in such case you can go for the erosion mechanism. That what it is being discussed here. Next we have soluble drug diffuses with no time. Okay, so the drug which is soluble, it can diffuse quickly compared to the insoluble drug. Hence controlling the release of that soluble drug. See, controlling the release of the insoluble drug, how can you control that? By going for the erosion mechanism. For the soluble drug, you can control the release by pH change or by gel strength, increase the gel strength. Even though the drug is soluble, because the gel strength is more, it will cause resistance for the drug to come out from the matrices. Then availability of free water, that what I said. Okay, take a polymer which takes up the water slowly. Okay, make the availability of free water less for the soluble drug. Hence, what happens? Drug will not get solubilized and it will be released slowly. Then, for poorly soluble drug, if you want to increase the solubility, you can go for the particle size reduction, because reduction in particle size will increase the solubility of, or you can say how the solubility will increase by the reducing particle size, by increase in the surface area. Particle size decreases, surface area increases. So that what how we can, these are the factors related to drug. We have so many factors, pKa, pH of the drug, then we have molecularity of the drug. That part we have discussed in factors influencing. Okay. Next is polymer concentration. Now the polymer concentration, what is the concentration of polymer to be used? So generally we try to use between 20 to 50 weight by weight percentage, 20 to 50 percentage weight by weight. This is the general concentration of the polymer being used in designing of any sustained or controlled or delayed release dosage form. Here for the formulation to be robust and giving consistent process, okay, with consistency with the process, okay, it will be giving consistent release. Every time it will give the same release, and the formulation can withstand that whatever the manufacturing process is there. For that we are considering a concentration of 30% weight by volume. It is been recommended for the polymer. And also regarding the polymer, okay, we have hydrophobic polymer, we have hydrophilic polymer. If you use hydrophilic polymer, it will swell, okay, and it will release the drug. So likewise polymer is also going to affect in the designing of your controlled release dosage form. Next we have presence of other excipients. We have excipients like soluble excipients, we have excipients like partially soluble and insoluble excipients. We will see part by part what happens when we incorporate soluble excipients in the dosage form for designing of controlled drug delivery system. Regarding the excipients, you can check here, we are targeting about fillers, okay. So soluble fillers, insoluble fillers, and we have partially soluble fillers. Example for soluble filler is lactose. Example for insoluble filler is microcrystalline cellulose and dicalcium phosphate. Then for partially soluble filler is partially pre-gelatinized starch. So what is the use of this? Fillers we generally use to increase the handling of the tablet. If the dose of the drug is less, to increase the handling we add fillers and we increase the size of the tablet for handling purpose. But addition of these fillers will act as diluting effect. So if you increase the filler concentration, the polymer effect, even though the polymer present in 30%, the effect of polymer will be diluted because you added filler here. So filler will act as diluting the effect of polymer. Now what happens if we use soluble filler, insoluble and partially soluble filler? If we use soluble filler, you can check here, see by the use of soluble fillers what happens, because the filler is soluble, it will increase the water uptake capacity, okay, faster and greater water uptake will happen there. Now due to this what happens, there will be no time given for the polymer which is being used to retard the release, there will be no time for that polymer to get swollen. So for that what happens, there will be weak gel strength. Whatever the gel formed by that polymer, it will be very weak in this system. So polymer which is formed, we want that polymer gel strength should be more because it will retard the release of the drug. If the gel strength is not there, it won't retard the release of the drug, hence it causes problem in designing. So try to avoid soluble fillers if your polymer is also hydrophilic. Then it will decrease the gel strength, it will increase the erosion of gel layer. It will decrease the gel strength, increase the erosion, both will lead to immediate release of the drug compared to which we are controlling the release. So avoid this. Next for insoluble, obviously the filler is not soluble, it will stay in the polymer, it will not affect water uptaking and erosion capacity of the polymer. It will retard the drug, that what it is given. Next is partially solubilized polymers also, because they are partial, neither they are fully soluble, neither they are fully insoluble. So they will also try to retard the drug release from the formulation. Release modifiers and stabilizers. So what happens, what is the effect of this release modifiers and stabilizers in the formulation of controlled release drug delivery system? So what it says, if your drug is having, here I am quoting the pH dependent release, okay, if the drug is soluble dependent on the pH, in that case there will be a problem, because in our GIT the pH will be continuously, pH will be continuously increasing from 1.2 to 7, or you can say 7.2. Okay, so there will be continuous increase in pH. Due to this, what happens if your drug is solubilized in acidic pH and it will be releasing in acidic pH, because there is continuous increase in the pH, what happens, the drug release will be retarded. I don't want that to happen. Okay, slowly the drug release will be decreased. Retarded in the sense, I want the drug release to be within 8 hours or 12 hours the drug to come out, but due to increase in this pH and also the drug release is pH dependent, if it is soluble more in acidic pH, in that case what happens, when the tablet travels through the GIT, there will be less release of the drug, which I don't want to happen. Okay, so to overcome this problem, what we will do, we will try to change the microenvironmental pH of the drug. So drug is soluble only in acidic pH, remember. Okay, I have a drug which is soluble only acidic pH. So around this drug microenvironment, I will use acid soluble excipients here. Acidic excipients that are weak acids or salt of strong acids. Okay, or if your drug is base, let's say if the drug is base, okay, in that case I will use, if the drug is basic drug, so if I use acidic excipients like weak acids or salts of strong acids, then what happens, that microenvironmental pH around the drug will be always acidic. Because the drug is basic, acid and base will react and form salt, and drug is available in soluble form throughout the release. Now I will coat this with pH independent polymer. Okay, I want to make that pH independent matrices for weakly basic drugs. I am talking about weakly basic drugs, because initially in our GIT the pH is 1.2, acid and base, they will form salt and there will be more release, but as the tablet passes through the GIT till colon, what happens, because the pH is keep on increasing, basic pH, drug is also basic, and there will be no ionization, and there is a chance of drug is going to not coming out from the formulation. That I don't want to happen. Okay, so what I will do, first I will take drug particles, around the drug particles I will try to keep excipients that are acidic. For basic drug, I am talking about the basic drug. So excipients which are acidic, like weak acids or salts of strong acids. These are the excipients which is been kept around the drug microenvironment. Okay, so around the drug microenvironment I will keep that excipients. Then I will coat this, or I will use pH independent fillers. Okay. Now what happens, as water passes through this filler, or you can say polymer, pH independent polymer I will be using here, it will be water passing through this. When it dissolves the excipient that are acid or base, which will be used for creating microenvironmental pH. So the environment around the drug particles, that microenvironment, only that pH will be changed. Why I am changing this? Because drug is basic, I will put acidic environment. This drug is always available in soluble form. Even though the outside pH is basic, a drug will come out. Generally what happens, if the outside pH is basic, drug is also basic, it will not come out because it is not getting solubilized. To make it solubilized, I will use microenvironmental pH, change the microenvironmental pH and make that drug to come out. Next is effect of salts and electrolytes. We know this, okay. If salts and electrolytes are present in higher quantity, what happens? They will withdraw all water molecules towards them. So Na plus is there, it will withdraw molecules of water, H2O, towards it. So all water molecules will be withdrawn towards it, and there will be less water molecules available for the hydration of the polymer which you are used in the controlled drug delivery system. Due to this, what happens, that polymer will not swell, there will be no gel formation, and there will be no release of the drug. In certain cases, there will be total failure of the formulation going to occur. To avoid this, this how the salts and electrolytes will affect the release of the drug in my control and sustained release dosage form. So as much as possible, we try to minimize the use of electrolytes within the excipients. You can ask me, sir, what about the electrolytes which are present in the body? So in the body, see here, gastrointestinal fluid, the electrolyte concentration is very less, 0.01 to 0.15. So the ionic strength is very less here. So it won't cause so much action compared to the more ionic strength. Next is characteristics of dosage form. Now, if the shape of the tablet also increases, the shape of the tablet, we have tablet like this, we have like this, so we have different shape, star shape, something. Okay, we have tablets in different shape here. So design a shape in such a way that there will be more surface area. If the surface area of the tablet is more, there will be more interaction of water molecules with the tablet, and there will be perfect release, no change in the release. Okay, so we have one technology here which is proposed. Example I am telling how to do that. Modifying the matrix surface area to volume ratio. Surface area to volume ratio is been modified by physical restriction of swelling hydrophilic matrix. You can physically restrict the swelling of hydrophilic matrix. How you can do that? By partially coating with matrix insoluble polymers. What I am trying to speak here is, you can manage the tablet surface area by physically restricting the swelling of the polymers. How you can restrict them physically? Partially coat them with, if the polymer swelling, if I am talking about swelling of the polymer will be hydrophilic. So if I can use this hydrophobic polymer to partially coat the tablet, okay, then what happens? There will be physical restriction of swelling, which in turn restrict the surface area which is available, and this how we can modify it. Okay, or you can go for the multi-layer tablet also, either coating with insoluble polymer. Remember GPAT question, how can you restrict the physical surface area? Coating with the insoluble polymer, or by converting the tablet to multi-layer. So that technology here is geomatrix technology, which is already available for us. The last factor is presence of coating. So presence of coating will also have the profound effect on the release of the drug. How? We will try to see here. So film coating, or you can say we apply coating for various reasons. It may be functional coating or it may be non-functional coating. Okay, to mask the taste or to increase the elegance. We have many reasons to apply coating. Okay, now if the coating is done by hydrophilic matrices. So if the matrices, so let's say I have a drug, whatever the matrix is there with the drug, this is hydrophilic, means the polymer which I used to punch the tablet, that is hydrophilic. Coating of hydrophilic matrices with water soluble polymers. Obviously from what we are going to coat, polymer only we are going to coat. If the coating is also water soluble, or if your matrix is also water soluble, okay, it will not alter the release of the drug profile. So coating a hydrophilic matrices with the hydrophilic polymer will not alter the drug release. You may think that I have coated the tablet, now the release of the drug will be retarded. No, it will not so much influences. So coating of the hydrophilic matrices with hydrophobic polymer will have retardation effects here. Coating with insoluble polymers such as ethyl cellulose with or without permeability modifiers, okay, with or without permeability modifiers may use for modulating the drug release profile from HPMC matrices. HPMC is a hydrophilic matrices. If you coat that HPMC with hydrophobic polymer, it will have retardation effect, because obviously the outer coating itself, assume this is a matrix tablet. How I prepared that? I use drug and HPMC. I will coat this with hydrophobic polymer. What happens? The polymer is hydrophobic. It will retard the entry of water into the matrix. Then it will also have the effect for the slow release of the drug, because entry of the water is been restricted. Okay, these are the various factors, or you can say these are the various aspects which will influence the design of various formulation aspects which will influence the design of controlled release, oral I am talking about again oral control release delivery system. I hope you understand.